Okay, welcome to episode 20 of this Let's Play series. We're playing Distant Worlds 2. This is a preview version. There's a lot of changes that will be coming in the release version, but you know, it's a great game. Even even with the changes that will be coming. So it's I'm really thoroughly enjoying this. Now we've got a few little things that I've actually just discovered, even after all this time. What I can do is I've set it up in here now. I've got a fleet consisting of, it's an attack fleet consisting of just one battleship. And what I've been doing in the past is trying to micromanage the what I actually have in my fleet templates. And so, you know, the mini carrier fleet, I didn't actually show how I used that, but essentially what I had to do was to go and set the ship count, like if we just go and edit this one as an example, to five destroyer carriers, for example. So and then what I would then do is I would then sort of come through after I set that one up. I'll just go into the actual game itself and go through my various fleets. So F, just go to the ones. Now this is the third fleet, which does actually have these destroyer carriers on board. And so what I would then wanting to do here is actually go to fleet template mini carrier fleet. So I would then just choose that mini carrier fleet from there. Now when I automate what they do, they will then reshuffle. So that's sort of what I've then got to do next. So essentially I've got I set the template, and while it's manual, I can do whatever I like, and then they won't change or anything or do anything with them. But as soon as I turn it to automatic, they're then going to start to try to find ways of fleshing out what I'm actually looking for in here, which is fine. So, but what I can then do with the fleets, so for example, if I set this one as a raider fleet, which I might just go and do, so raid, I can then go into the set tactics and just sort of see where they're going to be going. So 50% of range of the fuel range, which is going to be sort of like fairly wide, really. I might just go to 33% and just bring it so that it's a bit smaller. It's still very wide. So that's going to be a raider, and then what I can do with that particular fleet is just go through, and the attack stance really should be cautious. I'll just sort of set that up as well, and so with that particular fleet, I'll just come back across, and I think we'll set this one up even a bit deeper into the territory. So we'll set this one up over here, which is sort of like a system that we do now really control. So I'm just going to go in and to this. It's always good to have like a Caslon mine as the base, and just set the home base for the third fleet. That's now automated, set to the template at that location with the actual set tactics. So these three are working very close together. Now that's one fleet. I'll just go to another fleet. This one here is already set as a raiding. This is a defense fleet that's set to raid, which is means that I can then sort of I may switch them back as a defense fleet at some point. What I've now done is actually I didn't realize I could do this. Is I can go to different ships and set the fleet template up as, like, I can actually build my own templates, which are just manual. So these are just essentially I just put the that's how I understand it anyway. I put the fleet together, and so I've just called it capital ship because I'm going to be mainly just using these centered around one or two powerful ships, and so I'm just going to manually put them together. So it's not telling me what the actual typical count would be or anything like that. I can put stuff in there, but really this is just like a manual roll essentially for the actual fleet composition. This is my understanding anyway. And so from there I can then still go and make them into attack fleets, whatever else I want. So for example, the fleet that's back over here consists of one ship, which has just got the battleship. So I've just put that in there. It's been set to a capital ship, which is a manual template that I've created, and I've set that to attack. But what I've done in the tactics is set it to the same system. So it's going to be aggressive within the same system, which means that it's just going to keep on going around, destroying everything in that actual system. Now, I'm going to do the same with some of the other ones as well. I haven't done it with all of the capital ships. So I can just go out to my ships. These are from the strength. Now, if I go across, so the Immortal Dragon is now an automatic because that is now inside its own fleet. We've got the Crimson Conquest. Where are you? So you're down this way. So I'm going to go and set it up as its own fleet. So just going to go create a new fleet with this ship. This one is going to be so this is the 6th fleet, ship automation. Hang on, that's the ship. Yeah, that's 6th fleet. So ship automation is going to be, well, it's manually controlled in through there. And if we go to, actually that's not it either. Hang on, what have I done wrong? That's the actual fleet. If I just go to F6, there we go. It didn't pick this up. So it's in it thinks it's in an attack fleet, but what I wanted to have it is just the new one that I built, which is capital ship. And so it's now a manual, and I can put as many as I like in this one. I probably should have just called it, generic or something like that. And then I can actually just have what it's going to then do. So the fleet role would then be attack. And what I'll do with this one is actually have it so that it's going to then attack anything within its range. And I do actually have a really cool little system over here. So I'm just going to go across to this system and tell it that that this is going to be its home base. So control right click, set home base for the 6th fleet. So that's now set up from here. And I then just go to the tactics and just sort of say, okay, 50% is probably too far out. I'll go sector range in this case, and just go aggressive. As the attack stance, formation doesn't really matter, and retreat when enemy strength 50% or greater. Yep, there we go. So that's now, that one now is also just going to be now looking out after this region of space, which I'm sort of happy with. And I can just go through and do that with all of them. So I'm just going to go through one by one now, and picking all of these up. So I've got like another one out through here somewhere. So I'll just do the same here. This one doesn't have a. I can set up I think I can set it up with a planetary body. Like if we just go to this one here, and just go to create new fleet with these ships. So 7th fleet. Again, this isn't updating. Actually, that's pretty bit of a bug. Just go forward, then back. So this one now has it. So this one is going to be a capital ship. And I'm going to set this one up as attack. And I like I want it actually in this system. So I don't know if I can actually set this as the home for it. That's the attack point. That's different again, actually. So just go back to the 7th. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can set the home base as a non-base, because I do want it in here. Yeah, that's sort of controlled by them. We've got that as well. This one doesn't have a base around it. They've got bases everywhere. Yeah, no, I don't have it. I need to have some sort of base or a planet that we control to be able to do this one. I don't think we've got any bases in any of these, actually. Or do we? No, we do. There we go. We've got a base in here. So this monitoring station, we'll just set that as the home base for the 7th fleet. And so I can just keep on going through, like with each one of these. There's a cruiser, for example. So I'm just going to pause this, just put them all onto this sort of arrangement so that they can sort of do whatever they want to do. And so they can then sort of zip on off and do things. So again, we're just going to go, that's the set tactics. I'll just do it within sector range. That way they'll sort of just go off and they'll just look after themselves, but they'll be aggressive. The attack stance, I will make that aggressive as well. So it's a really cool little, and it does manage itself extremely well. So I can just go through literally all of these now and set them up this way, and yeah, away we go. Right, so now we've got a heap of different ships basically in the fleets, so they're sort of all over the place now. Mainly just full of like just single battleships and so on and so forth. So they're going to be able to go off and do what they need to do, which makes it means because I've now got them automated, I don't have to worry about them. So I'm just going to let them do their own thing. And really, it's only if they sort of get into trouble that I'll then sort of come and have a look and see what they get up to. But I can sort of just let them set and forget. They can just go off and get their own targets, and over time, they will sort of rip apart the Kabara group. Now, we actually do have a bit of war weariness now kicking back in. So we now probably want to quickly try to take one of these planets, I think, and just get on with it. So let's keep on going. Yeah, let's keep on going. They don't have any war progress against us at all, which is pretty amazing. Anyway, we'll just go and take one planet and then leave that, make that as the target. Now, with the first fleet, I do want to change this one across to the mini carrier fleet, which I've done, but I now want to automate this one as as probably an attack group, I guess. Yep, and I've got it. The home is the Bertolozzi 2 spaceport, which I'm sort of happy enough with. I'll leave that one back there. The others, with all these battleships and things, we've certainly got enough. And then the third fleet is pretty much the same deal. Mini carrier fleet. I'll set that up as an attack fleet as well. And I'll just let them. So they'll be wanting to then get other ships to sort of flesh that one out. So really what we have through here is we're still loading in various ships into this one. We've got an admiral and we have a general on board. We've got 3 troop transports. Now I can also then set up the mix of what they would be wanting, but really in reality they're just going to get whatever they can get. So we've got a fair bit of stuff in there at the moment, but they are coming back into the Betelgeuse system to pick things up. So we'll here they are basically over here, just going, and actually no, that's them there. There are various ships all over the place, but they're just going to come back through. We are trying to get some armour here. We haven't quite got everything just yet. I will wait for these ships to come and pick it all up. And send 3rd Fleet to attack. So I'm going to keep on getting these orders. So I'm going to assign the missions. Here we go. So, and I don't look. This will be popping up all the time. Now I could just have them just automate. They're just going to keep on going now and destroying all of the infrastructure. All of these. So I'll just assign them. They'll just go off and do these missions now, which is great. I sort of now have in much more of a central command role rather than a micromanaging each ship role. And I don't need to think about what they're going to do now. They'll just look after their own refueling, anything that does go wrong. So yeah, when they attack little ships, that could be annoying. So we'll wait for the invasion fleet to come on in. Yeah, these are. Yeah, they're trying to actually attack individual ships. This may become a bit annoying. I could just automate that aspect as well, just so that they don't actually tell me what they're looking for. Their mining stations, I'm happy with them to go and do those. Yeah, the 8th is just keeping on trying to catch things, but not actually getting there. And then when I need to actually just have certain ships to take over and do specific things, I'll just make them into manual again. And then that way I can sort of then look after them with what they're doing. Yeah, I'll just go back and have a look and see what they get up to. So we've got 2 on the ground here. Yeah, I might turn that off fairly soon, I think, just so that they just automatically do it without me needing to give them the okay. They've still got one there. Yeah, they're picking that one up. That's good. All right, we've got it now. So the attack fleet, if we just go back through the fleets, we've got the invasion fleet. I'll just make this control 2. Now we want to get them all refueled. So while they're here, just go back across. Make sure just get them to refuel from the planet. Betelgeuse 2. And come on, you need this ship as well. Where are you? A little way out. Build those mining stations. It's such a better game than Distant Worlds Universe. Just the little things like having the private sector being able to still keep on building this infrastructure. It really does make a massive difference to your economy. You know, coming out of their money and not out of yours. And I think we'll automate those fairly soon. Now we've got a fairly strong invasion fleet here. So I think we'll go after the Kashyyyk system. We should have more than enough with what we need. This is, I mean, War Wind is only just starting to kick in now. Might just quickly go back across now to the policies and just automate that one there. So this is fleets have already all been made manual, so we'll just keep on going that way. We've got the Research intelligence. Now, where will be the other one? I think it's just under basic advisors. I have to look for it. Military attacks. This is the one I've got at the moment. So I'm just going to go fully automate that one, just so I don't have to know about it. So the military attacks. Now, this is a bit of a danger with these because they're now also controlled under those. And so I will actually make this into a manual group that we actually have. Like I wanted them to sort of manage themselves, picking up all of the troops, which they've now done. We'll just go back and resume. So I no longer will see the messages. So that's the second. Just wait for this thing to refuel. Well, we will still get, I think we'll still get the messages saying if something's under attack. Just not what we're doing back over here. Like you won't ask me to okay attacks anymore. There we go. Fueling up now. Awesome. Right, so off we go. Kashik system. Just tell them to invade straight away. To attack. Now, how many we got on the ground here? I think there's a fair few. There's 8 on the ground. Now, we'll be going with tanks and things. I think ultimately they won't have any real problem with this. And then I wouldn't mind just getting this one as well, if we can get that at the same time. Off they go. So even just by taking manual control, it's now become a manual fleet, which means that it's not going to then go and do its own thing. It feels much more intuitive than what it did in Distant Worlds Universe. In the meantime, we've got various attacks and things just going in. This thing's going to go back and refuel. It's going to look after itself. I do want to get into these as well and just sort of stop whatever they're doing up this way. In the meantime, these guys are just going to be racing off. They sort of were doing it all anyway, but you know, now they're going to be all out trying to sort of just deal with the infrastructure. Which would be great. It's got a Caslon and stuff left over. That's interesting. That's the third fleet going after. Yeah, it's within its range, so that's fine. Off you go. What else have we got over here? A couple of other ones. That's the 10th fleet. That's just, yeah, so it's going off to do its own thing as well. But these have been given home bases, sort of deep within the enemy territory. So they'll just keep on raiding and destroying things. Now, whose is that? Oh yeah, that's one of theirs. That's okay. That's fine. Yep, away you go. I wouldn't have seen that. So just having them do this is good. Very, very good. Now, the next target after we do this, I'm really eyeing this one off. This is controlled by the humans. I thought it was controlled by our ally over here, but it's actually not. So I want this planet as well. And so once we actually once we take this, I think I'll probably leave that one alone because it's nearly got a billion people on board. Now these, look how unhappy they're getting. So these are unhappy. These are going to be the upset through their territory is going to be quite pronounced. So they may flip. You know, if I can sort of starve them for long enough. Yep. So inhabitants of Kashik are angry. They do approve the tax rate, which is sort of funny. So they can't tax these guys. So it's going. The drain on their economy is negative 4,000. So this is what the effect of what we've done is really quite pronounced as we sort of look at all of this. Economy is mostly underdeveloped, very high corruption, reduce our happiness, retire of our empire's wars, negative 24. So they've really sort of, the wars are really affecting them negatively now. But they're still sort of trying to do whatever they're trying to do. Like we've still got our ships just wandering around doing what they're doing as well. The following resources. Yep, sign that one. Anyway, we'll see how they go. Yeah, so negative 17. That is pretty damn angry. It's not rebellious angry, but it's getting there. It's on the way. These are fairly happy, but I think we'll still come and liberate them. Oh, don't crash again. No, that's all right. We're getting a few crashes. We don't know how many troops they've got on the ground, but this is... Yeah, they've got mainly... actually, there's a lot of humans there as well. Oh, well. We'll have to get rid of... Well, maybe not get rid of them. We'll just assimilate them over time. Our goal is not to be aggressive, like we're not going to enslave. Enslavement will give us a bit of a speed along with things, but then at the expense, they're never going to be developed properly. Whereas even these guys, I'll just try to incorporate them slowly over time. Ah, wow! They actually now really are now going full on rebellious. So that's interesting. Negative 19. Okay, they're up there now. Negative 20. Ah, there we go. We've got the rebellion going in. Now, this is going to then damage their troops. So we might as well just stay back a little bit and just let them chomp away at their forces. So we won't go in just yet. We'll just sit and wait. So we'll grab this invasion fleet and we'll just tell it to blockade the planet to start with. Blockade Kashyyyk. And just wait. Wait patiently to see. Well, of course, their forces are going to win, but they're going to be suffering a lot. Because I'm glad we saw that just before it happened. So we can sort of see there the little red symbol. That's actually and with the invasion going on. These are becoming more and more angry as well. So if we can just sit out and just wait for these things to. Well, this one's still got a fair way before it becomes aggressive. But this is good stuff in through here. Yeah, they're just moving in. We'll blockade and then we'll sort of get ready to drop once this invasion is done. They're going to reduce the. They're going to reduce a few of the fighting forces a little bit anyway for us. This will help. They've got a fortified line, and they do technically have space control, just because they've got more stuff in space than what we have, really, or the independence. Well, that was interesting. We're here to liberate you. Okay, they've lost one of their army groups. Now that one has now settled down a little bit, the happiness. If we have a look at the happiness in through here. Nope, they're going again. In that case, we'll wait until this next one basically runs out. Now this probably will actually hurt the population a bit here as well. Like they're going to be sort of really damaging themselves, so we'll come in as liberators. We're here to help. It's what we do. So here they come. Yeah, wow, they've actually killed off a lot of the resistance. This should be relatively easy for us once this attack finishes. What a fascinating game. I love this aspect of it. It's so good. Here comes the invasion force. Now they're just going to blockade initially. Here's the other one. Still coming in. Just wait for this one to basically wear itself out, and then we'll do our attack. Millions of people are dying in these wars, the civil wars. On Kashyyyk 3, the tragedy. Yeah, they're down to, that's about half of what they had previously. Just watch this now, and just when these numbers get down, actually, yeah, they're gonna keep on hurting them. They're down to 4. When they get down to 1, I'll start the attack. Wow, that's really rocketed up since I've had those fleets on, operating now. This one's almost run its course. God, it's gotten rid of more than half of their forces. They went from 8 to 4, but even the 4 that are left are really, really weak. I think as soon as we just get one more of the independents gone, actually now they have space control. That's interesting, isn't it? Still got a fortified line, but we're going to come in with armour. So go a little bit further. That'll do us, I think. We'll just pause there, just get number 2, and just tell them it's time to invade. Attack Kashyyyk. So there we go. So our guys will now come in. They're going to hit the ground. And yep, now we're starting to get our invasion force. So we're now coming in. They're now attacking with us, but this is now good. So we'll have armour dropping fairly soon as well. Got space control. They've lost all cohesion. Here we go, even more now. We've now got our general down on the ground. And we've got 4,000. And here we go, 5,000 now with the armour. And there we go, colony conquered, nicely done. Just pause there for a second. Invaded and taken over the colony Kashyyyk 3 of the United Calabria group. Our victorious forces have completely defeated the enemy. So we'll dismiss that one. So this one now is a planet that we now control. They're, of course, going to be not very happy. So they're very angry. Concerned about our empire's poor reputation. Harkonish are unhappy being part of the Ackdarian Empire. So these aren't really massive concerns. Angry at the recent conquest, -19. That will change over time. So the Harkonish are upset at -20. So we can reduce, almost halve the damage by now asking for peace. So we will have to keep like a police force on the ground here, but we can actually then go off, grab most of the forces, then go off and grab that human planet. So we don't even have to declare war to sort of then do the next one. So this then takes us, with all of this, I'm tempted to go and get this as well, but I don't know. And for all we know, there's going to be more and more of them rebelling. I think we maybe just sort of hold this one out a little bit, actually. We'll still go and get the other one, but these are now becoming more and more angry. The Empire's war is -30. They're like the longest, like we've only got a -1 with our war weariness, whereas theirs is really, really hurting them badly. So we now have Kashyyyk. This is a place that we will be wanting to start to build things. For example, like we get the Planetary Administration Centre, so we'll go and grab that one in there. This is going to drain a hell of a lot of money, just initially. But what we will do is we'll just go back in now to the actual troops themselves. And I don't know if there's an easy way to actually manage these. I can't really manage them from there. But there's going to be a few rebellions, I would think. So we'll just go and ungarrison a few of these troops. Oops, hang on. There's got to be an easy way to do this. I'll just go to the troop screen and attack strength. We'll just go to where are we going to do it? At colonies. Battle OC2. So this is Kashik. Now I'll do it at location. That way I can actually just go to the Kashik Center. So this is the start of them. And we'll leave 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll make this one ungarrison. 5. That one's already ungarrisoned. That one will ungarrison as well. 6, 7, 8. Right, so from there down at Kashik, we'll then just release the rest of these. Okay, so we have a lot of ungarrisoned troops. So we can just now look at the garrisons. How many have we got? It's funny, it's got ungarrisoned, it doesn't have garrison. Onboard transits, no, nothing there, so everything has now been set up. So we'll just go now to fleet number 1, or number 2 actually it is, the second invasion fleet. And we will refuel and we'll just go to load troops, so they can just load back up the troops again. Now we could go from even more of their planets. Yeah, it's going to be, our money's going to go backwards fairly strongly for a short period of time. 30,000, how many have they got? Yeah, they've still got some that are coming off the ground. So wait till all of these have been picked up. The one there is not, it's not going to get picked up, I don't know why. Anyway, that's so we've got all of these now on board. So we've got like again a very, very strong group. Now we don't actually have a refueler in this system, but we do it over at Skibu. So let's just go across to Skibu and refuel here. Now that's leaving a reasonable force behind. Hopefully that will be enough to protect the planet. And then what we'll try to do is end this war. Like, it's in both of our interests now. Us to control this and them not to lose any more planets. Now, I don't know if I let one more attack go in or not. I can let them have one crack at us. And we're not going to enslave them or do anything. We're just going to be fully accepting of everyone. We are going to be a benevolent dictatorship. I don't know what that is. Well, they haven't rebelled yet. The corruption is extremely high, but this will then drop once this is built. So still building that a little bit. I might as well make that into a garrison troop as well while we're here. Let them fuel up. And really at this point in time, we don't have a hell of a lot to gain by staying at war with this force. I mean, we've certainly damaged them really, really badly. Now it'll keep on coming up that they'll. Look, we've certainly got this one as well. We've now got bases destroyed, military ships destroyed, other ships. We have colonies captured, Kashik 3, bases captured. Like, they've done no real damage to us in this war. They did certainly in the previous war. Like, they had a bit of an advantage, I guess, over us. They had better ships. And we'll now just do a drop on this one over here. But we're out of time, guys. We're out of time. So I think we'll leave it here, and then we'll talk about the trying to sort of get everyone under control. I'm thinking about ending the war. I'm sort of almost toying with the idea. Actually, here we go. These are now rebelling, so we could end up with some quite interesting aspects over this side. Troops are unknown, but that is rebelling. There we go. So they should be able to take that. They said, oh, they've got a few defences. Maybe we hold out just for a little while and just watch and see if any of these become independent. That would be pretty cool if they did. So we've just starved them. We've completely starved their empire and taken, like, you know, one of their not massive planets, but certainly one of their reasonable planets. And I don't really want to go up into their core systems too much, but yeah, we could have done that as well. Could have taken another one up that way, but I think I'm going to go back and get my own people because they will assimilate super fast. Let's leave that one the way we are, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.